let me change this subject because I feel like we've been talking about the same things or like very similar things. Let's get something new going.
Yo, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Say what you gotta say, Randy. Get it out your chest. Now you done with this shit, man. Turn this shit off, man.
What you mean turn it off?
You've been playing this whole fucking time, man.
Yeah,
you ain't even
because
been
y'all been sitting here arguing, bro. Every time I try to talk, you cut
All right,
me
let's
off.
talk about something
Anyways,
I know that's gonna hit
you.
real close to home. We're gonna hit real close to home. Let's
Go
talk
ahead.
about Randy and like video game addiction.
That's exactly what I was about to talk about, actually. I was about to talk about video game addiction, but I was gonna talk about like like
What's up?
like, isn't it like crazy? Don't you guys think like it's crazy how video games have progressed? Like I'm over here playing Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and I remember playing for the Nintendo 64, fucking Ocarina of Time, and it's just crazy to me because I feel like
That game was lit.
Ocarina of Time was one of the
Ocarina
best
of Time
games
was like
I've
the
ever
greatest.
played.
That was like Super Mario 64 like type.
So
Yeah,
what my favorite, my first experience with the Zelda games were for the Game Boy Color, man. I used to have a Link to the. I think it was no, I didn't have it for the Game Boy Color. I'm lying. Or did I? I don't remember.
I remember you had it for a Game Boy because I played it and you.
So
used to
I
hate
did
me for
have
playing
it, but the game was corrupted, man. For some reason, I don't know if the disc came out like that or whatever. But it was. I will get to a certain point in the game where, after that point, the game would just be corrupted and you had to start over. There was no getting past that point.
You should have just made it.
It was like it was like a boss because I even tried that on an emulator, and it was giving me basically the same thing, and it was kind of weird. I always found that weird, and I always thought that maybe I just bought the wrong game or I don't know. But that was the very first experience I had with the Zelda games, and then like I had told my wife when I first got my Nintendo Switch was that I wanted to buy the Zelda game. And then we ended up buying it. He's been playing it more than me because this man's been hogging up my Switch, but I'm gonna have to slap him and take my Switch back.
I've been hogging up your shit. I literally asked him if I could use it, and you're like, "Yeah, I barely use it."
Yeah, I never said you could use it. I didn't say you could hog it.
Now I'm hogging up his Switch, even though he's like, "Yeah, I barely use it."
That's Gil's Switch?
Yeah, that's Gil's Switch. I didn't think like it's low key. The Switch is low key a console. I think Nintendo might be like actual geniuses when it comes to console making because
they flopped on the Wii and the Wii U, man.
No, they didn't flop on the Wii. They flopped on the Wii U.
No, they definitely flopped on the Wii.
It was the Wii U, I think.
It
yeah,
was just the Wii U. The Wii was that's
the handheld one, right?
Yeah,
the
Wii was a family favorite console for a lot of people.
For like a year.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, what do you want? Like, I'm just. What do you want, bro?
It was a fan favorite for like a year. That's it.
But because you had things like 3DS coming out at the same time. You had 3DS and all that other stuff. But
how you doing, Theo?
But yeah, so like I was saying, yeah, bro. I think Nintendo is a genius company because they like to think out. Like they do things that are outside of the box. Like when they came out with the Game Boy, that was an outside of the box kind of thinking because the previous handheld, I'm pretty sure that there was a handheld that came out before the Game Boy, right? It was made by
yeah.
Man, I can't remember that.
Not before the original Game Boy? No, I don't think so. Not a handheld before the original.
Let me look that up. History. You don't have to look it up there. Handheld consoles. The world's first handheld game console equipped to... No, that's...
What was it?
Why is this shit in Spanish?
The Atari Lynx.
Yeah, Atari.
The Atari Lynx. Yeah, that's what came out before the Game Boy. So Nintendo basically took the idea and made it better. And I feel like...
here's the Atari Lynx right here.
Because the Atari Lynx, I'm pretty sure, flopped.
Oh, yeah, that shit was garbage.
Yeah, that shit flopped very hard.
And they had the BitCorp Game Mates.
Yeah,
whatever.
but Nintendo wasn't afraid to put it out. And I like that's why I have to respect Nintendo. It's the same thing with the Wii U and then the Switch. Like, the Switch could have...
Nintendo is so fucking amazing. I love that company.
The Switch could have been a big flop. But they, you know what I'm saying? But they put it out anyway because they were like, yo, you know what? We're going to try something new. Because people... And it worked. I feel like the Switch might be one of the greatest consoles to be released of its time. It's simply for the ingenuity
it's innovative. So
yeah.
here's the thing that I personally don't like about Nintendo. It's they usually try to innovate, and it's cool because they do a lot of like gimmicks. But I feel like they're still stuck on that. Their consoles are made more for kids as opposed to adults. They don't realize that their core fan base, the ones that built the Nintendo brand, were us. The late 80s or 80s and 90s kids. Not these 2000 kids. Now these kids are just playing on their phone.
they still have to cater. They still have to cater. They still have to cater.
But you got
all generations. You want to make money, and you don't want your business or your company to keep on.
Let's be honest. Who has money right now? Does a 5-year-old have fucking money? 6-year-old, 10-year-old, 13-year-old?
But here's the thing with that, Gilbert. Though here's the thing with that, Gilbert. Now, you have
but their parents have money.
That's what I'm saying.
Parents, mommy and dad, I want that. They pay for it.
It's not even that. It's not even that, bro. You gotta think about it like this, Gilbert. At the end of the day, you're saying that they gotta they're catering to children, but at the end of the day, who has a Nintendo Switch right here and buying their games still?
What games you have?
Exactly.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about my generation. I'm saying
what games
we
do you have
made
for Switch?
Nintendo.
What games you have for Switch?
I have Mario Party. I have
no Mario Kart. We didn't buy.
I'm sorry. I have Mario Kart 8, Link, the fucking Zelda game, Breath of the Wild. I have Pokemon, what was it, Shield.
Notice how he literally has the exact same games that he grew up on, and then he's over here complaining that they're catering to kids.
You're not even understanding my point.
What is the point that you're trying to make?
My point is that if I grew up on those, of course, nostalgia will bring me back to those games.
Exactly.
So I'm going to get those games.
Yeah, that's the.
But the kids now have no connection to those systems. All the kids now are worried about is the next fucking Call of Duty. How many motherfuckers can I kill one time in a map?
I understand. I understand that.
I know what I think is the future. Let's change the subject a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead. Digress.
What do you want?
Nah, go straight.
Mobile games.
Mobile is not the future, man. Nah, never.
Everybody has a phone.
Yeah, but
PUBG Mobile, Call of Duty Mobile.
Yo, speaking of PUBG Mobile, you trying to play some PUBG Mobile, bro? It's been a while since we hit that, bro.
I love
we gotta
PUBG
hit that one more time. Anyway,
PUBG
so
Mobile,
good.
Call of Duty Mobile, Hearthstone.
Call of Duty Mobile,
Hearthstone,
League of Legends,
Mobile. Okay.
All of the League of Legends games. Apex Legends. Apex. Yeah, that's called Apex Legends.
Yeah.
Fortnite. Everything's on mobile. So it's the future.
I don't think
it's
Apex
the future.
Legends is on mobile.
I don't know if
it's coming. It's coming. It's coming.
Oh,
it's coming. Yeah. It's
so
coming
it's
the future, bro.
So mobile is actually, believe it or not, mobile is the biggest market, but not for the games that you would think it is. They're the biggest market for those cash grab games like fucking. What's that? Candy Crush, where you gotta.
Bro, all the games I just said. PUBG skins.
I'm saying.
Apex Legends skins, cash grab, guns, all that stuff, bro.
But I'm saying that that's not the biggest market on the mobile. On the mobile side, the biggest market is those pay to win games, basically like those.
That's gonna change, man. I'm telling you, that's gonna change.
It is gonna change because once. No. So you gotta understand it like this. The evolution of it is that. They're giving you this game, right? They're giving you this game, and now it's like, all right, yo, this is a much more fleshed out game, and it isn't pay to win. So why am I gonna play this pay to win game? You know what I'm saying?
I think
I
think the industry will not evolve. I think the industry will not evolve until we have some, robust enough connection or like a system of connection where like you can
internet, Wi-Fi?
Yeah, internet wise, where you can go anywhere and play, where you don't have to worry about shit. I might lose connection if I move to the next block because, for example, like where I'm at now, where we're at now, shit, we got decent connection here around the house. Like, and we're not talking about the Wi-Fi, right? We got decent connection, like just regular mobile connection. I literally can go to the next block over and I have no connection, 0 bars.
Yeah, Forhood sucks like that.
Yeah. Why you had to say it like that? Why you think I said what I said?
Oh, I
don't want people to know where I live, man.
How big is that place, bro?
Huge, but that's besides the freaking point.
I got you. But anyways, I think mobile's the future, man. That's why all the studios are heading there, man. 10 years, 10, 20, 30 years from now, how do you think phones are gonna look, bro?
They about to look.
I mean, yeah, they might look the same now, but how many kind of add-ons? They got the Switch for the phone now. The Razer thing for this, it looks like a Switch controller. Yo, it's crazy. It's literally Switch controllers for a phone. It's insane.
So
you can play Fortnite on it and everything right now.
All right, but you know what I think is gonna put a lot of people off you know, Americans, at least Americans, are obsessed with screen size. A lot of people not gonna look at a Switch and then say, "Oh, I want to play that same game on my fucking 5-inch screen phone, bro."
I don't know.
After I
man.
just had a 13-inch screen or whatever. You know
I
what
think
I mean?
mobile's the future because it is the most available to
Yeah, 'cause
most
everybody's
amount
got a
of
mobile.
people.
But then-
Everybody's got a phone, man.
But then
and
you'll-
that is the best market to be in. Not everybody has a Switch. Not everybody has a PlayStation.
But then
a Xbox, a fucking PC, even a laptop. But every fucking body has a phone, bro.
But then you also have to think about specs, because for a game to be successful,
my phone has more RAM than that laptop.
No. Listen, well, that's not what I'm saying.
My phone has 10 gigs of RAM.
Can you let me finish my point?
Go ahead, my bad.
I'm not saying I know we're top elite because we got phones that we got top of the line phones. My point is, majority of the world doesn't own a top of the line phone. They don't even own. Man, look, you advertising for Razer? Razer, give us a shout out. We here if you want to pay us some money. You know what I'm saying? Podcast.
He's about to get us sued.
Majority of. About to get the whole podcast taken down. Razer has taken your podcast down under copyright claims.
Imagine that shit. That'll be crazy.
So Razer, not Razer. I'm sorry. So majority of people, they have like medium phones, not like medium spec phones or lower end phones, and so a lot of the companies have to be able to make a game that suits for all of those, as opposed to making one game.
The developers have to use the technology available to the public to be able to make games. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So it's not gonna be like, oh, we just gonna make a one size fits all mobile game. They have to make it all kinds of resolutions that runs on all kinds of platforms, as opposed to something like, you know what I'm saying, like the Switch, where it's like, okay, you're making a game for the Switch and it works for the Switch and that's it.
So I just feel like developing for mobile is also going to be a lot easier on a lot of companies because they don't have to worry about like certain things like, oh, we don't have to worry about this and this and this, like you said. So we're not just developing for the Switch, or we're not developing for the Xbox, or we're not developing for this. You know what I'm saying? We're developing for mobile, which I feel like is going to be a lot easier because the file size is much smaller, and you get what I'm saying? It's like it's.
I mean, look at PUBG Mobile. Look at PUBG Mobile. I think is a perfect example because you can have the phone I have, the Razer Phone 2, with like 10 gigs of RAM or 8 gigs of RAM and a really good processor, and run it at like HDR quality, and it looks amazing on my phone.
And they have
120 FPS. But then they also catered to the like less.
The plebs. They cater to the plebs.
The plebs, where it's like you only got like 2 gigs of RAM. You could set the settings lower. You'll have like 30 FPS, which is like fucking fine, but still, like they're still catering to those people who don't have like the latest generation phones.
No.
So that's just so much money in that market.
Here's another thing. Like I mean, in my opinion, at least, when it's gonna come to mobile, unless you have peripherals, like how you said, unless you got that little thing for the Switch that comes for the phone, you're not really gonna be making much moves because
I think phone companies. He just dropped his phone. I think phone companies are gonna like eventually start incorporating like gaming phones. Like there's gonna be like a regular office phone.
It's just
and then
the start, bro.
Phones. Yeah.
20 years ago, how old were you? 20 years ago,
He was like 8.
me,
man.
I was 8.
Yeah. So 20 years ago, man, it was 2000. I wasn't even born in the year 2000. I was at 1986. Bro, there was not a mobile phone in sight, bro. And now we have TVs in our pockets, bro. That's insane, bro. Mm-hmm. Think about that. In 20, 30 years. Now, imagine 20, 30 years from now.
Okay,
That's insane.